You've been taught to chase what you want, to work harder, to think smarter, to manifest from the mind. But what if the most powerful energy to attract everything you desire is already pulsing within you? Not in your thoughts, not in your words, but in your sexual energy. This is the force that creates life, the raw current that lives at the core of your being, potent, magnetic, divine. But most of us were never taught how to use it. We leak it, suppress it, or spend it unconsciously, never realizing it's the very fuel for manifestation. Sexual alchemy isn't about pleasure alone. It's about power. The power to take your desire and raise it into focus, into creation, into attraction. When this energy is harnessed, it becomes a force that draws everything to you: opportunities, love, abundance, purpose, not through effort, but through vibration. Have you ever felt that pull in your body, that tingling, that fire, and wondered if it meant more than just physical desire? It does. It's your soul reminding you, you are not just a body, you are a creator. In this video, you'll learn how to stop wasting your life force and start using it to build the life you came here to live. Are you ready to awaken the magnetism that's been sleeping inside you all along? Let's begin. Most people associate sexual energy with pleasure, desire, or instinct, something physical, momentary, and often disconnected from the deeper self. But ancient wisdom tells a very different story. Sexual energy is not just about the body. It is the most potent creative force in the universe. It is the root of life itself. And when understood and directed with intention, it becomes a form of alchemy, sexual alchemy, capable of transforming your inner world and magnetizing your outer reality. So what is sexual alchemy? It is the art of transmuting your primal life force into higher expressions of power, not just for intimacy, but for creation, manifestation, and spiritual awakening. It is the practice of cultivating the raw energy that lives in your lower chakras, then raising it up through the energy centers of your body until it becomes something more: clarity, vision, magnetism, purpose, radiance. Sexual alchemy is the reason ancient sages, mystics, and tantrikas revered the union of energies, not as indulgence, but as sacred science, because they knew that when sexual energy is respected and consciously elevated, it doesn't deplete you, it empowers you. It doesn't distract, it aligns. It doesn't pull you away from your purpose, it fuels it. Have you ever felt that deep pulse within you? A craving, a heat, a force that has nothing to do with another person, but everything to do with something wanting to come alive in you? That's the beginning of alchemy. It's your energy calling to be used, not wasted. But here's the issue. In modern society, we're taught to either suppress this energy out of shame or indulge it unconsciously in search of temporary highs. In both extremes, we miss the actual gift. We forget that this energy was never meant to be feared or misused. It was meant to be channeled, not just in the bedroom, but in our art, our voice, our decisions, our magnetism. Because true sexual alchemy isn't about performance, it's about presence. It's about remembering that this energy is sacred, that your body is a vessel of power, that desire is not a distraction, it's a compass pointing to your creative potential. When you begin to understand sexual alchemy, you stop seeing sexual energy as something separate from your spiritual path. You see it as the very foundation of it. Because what you desire at the deepest level, intimacy, abundance, confidence, clarity, expression, all of it begins at the root. All of it begins with energy. This is where your power lives. This is where your creation begins. And in this video, we'll show you how to stop leaking that power and start alchemizing it. Because when your life force rises with intention, it doesn't just awaken your body, it awakens your reality. We've been conditioned to think of sexual energy as something separate from our creative power, something physical, perhaps emotional, but rarely spiritual. Yet the truth is far more profound. Sexual energy is creative energy, not metaphorically, literally. It's the same force that brings new life into the world. And when not used for reproduction, that current doesn't disappear. It transforms. It becomes fuel for ideas, visions, movements, manifestations. Every dream you've ever had, every project you've started, every deep desire you've felt, all of it is connected to the same primal current, the life force moving through you. This is why sexual energy, when consciously cultivated, becomes your most powerful tool for attraction. It amplifies your frequency, charges your aura, and makes your intention magnetic. But here's the key. That energy follows your focus. When your sexual energy is scattered, consumed by fantasy, distraction, or ungrounded indulgence, it leaks. It doesn't disappear, but it loses coherence, and what leaks cannot manifest. But when your energy is contained, respected, and elevated, it becomes coherent, unified, directed. It begins to build like pressure behind a dam, ready to be released not as chaos, but as clarity, as creation. Have you ever noticed how people who are tapped into their creative or spiritual power often radiate a quiet magnetism? They don't chase, they don't explain, they simply are. That's the frequency of integrated sexual energy, not being used up, but being channeled upward. It moves through the body and becomes presence. It becomes vision. It becomes attraction without effort. This is not about suppression. Suppression leads to distortion. It's about transmutation, raising the energy from base desire into higher awareness. This is the secret hidden in every mystery school, every ancient tantric text, every symbol of the sacred union. The masculine and feminine within you, the dynamic and the receptive, the focused and the flowing, must come into harmony for your power to rise. The more you honor this energy, the more it will respond to you. It will start to guide you. You'll notice when it's rising. You'll feel when it wants to be expressed, not always as physical pleasure, but as art, leadership, truth, service, or vision. You'll learn to trust it, to listen to it, to ride its wave without fear, because it's not something to be controlled. It's something to be understood. You were not meant to waste this energy in fleeting highs. You were meant to create with it, to align your desire with your vision, to let your body become a channel for your soul. Sexual energy is not just fire, it's light. And when you bring it into alignment with your intention, you don't just attract what you want, you become it. If sexual energy is the most potent creative force within us, why aren't more people living as magnetic, aligned creators of their reality? The answer is simple, yet often hidden in plain sight. Most people are leaking their power without even realizing it. Sexual energy, like any high-frequency current, must be respected. It is sacred, intelligent, and deeply sensitive to intention. But in a world that treats it as something purely physical, a source of entertainment, release, or taboo, we've been conditioned to disconnect from its deeper purpose. And in that disconnection, we begin to waste it. You leak power when you use your sexual energy for escape, rather than expansion. When you turn to unconscious habits, compulsive scrolling, casual fantasy, or repetitive indulgence without awareness, your energy gets stuck in a loop. The body is activated, but the soul is left behind. There is no integration, no upward movement, just repetition. Over time, this drains not only your vitality, but your sense of clarity, confidence, and inner magnetism. Have you ever felt a strong creative impulse, a surge of inspiration, only to feel it disappear hours later, after a distraction, a release, or a mindless habit? That's not coincidence. That's energy without direction. It rose, but had nowhere to go. The fire of desire was lit, but instead of being channeled upward into action, alignment, or manifestation, it was dispersed. This is what most people never learn. Pleasure is not the end, it's the beginning. The body awakens to signal that your power is present. But what you do with it, how you hold it, move with it, breathe into it, determines whether it fuels your reality or fades into nothing. Leaking energy isn't just about sexuality either. It happens every time you betray your intuition, every time you speak or act from a place of proving, every time you give your essence away to people or patterns that don't honor it. Each time, a little more of your life force slips through your fingers. So how do you stop leaking? You begin with awareness. You start noticing the moments when your energy spikes. And what you usually do next. Do you numb it? Distract it? Shame it? Or do you honor it? Hold it? Invite it to rise? You practice containment, not repression. Containment means holding the energy within your field long enough for it to build, refine, and transform. It means breathing through the heat, allowing it to rise into the heart, into the third eye, into your vision. It means choosing not to spend your energy for momentary relief, but to cultivate it for lasting creation. And you return to intention. Because energy without intention leaks. But energy infused with clarity, that's alchemy. That's attraction. That's power turned inward until it shines so bright. The world can't help but feel it. You don't need more force, you need more focus. Your power isn't lost, it's just been diffused. It's time to reclaim it, to hold it, to raise it, and to remember, you are not here to burn out, you are here to ignite. Once you've reclaimed your energy, once you've stopped the leaks and remembered the power that lives in your body, the next question is, how do I use it? How do I take this fire and turn it into focused attraction, into real magnetism, into aligned manifestation? The answer is transmutation. To transmute is to transform, to take raw energy, primal, powerful, and instinctual, and raise it into a new form. Not to deny it, suppress it, or make it spiritual by cutting off its heat, but to elevate it while keeping its fullness intact. True sexual alchemy doesn't kill desire. It purifies it. It clarifies it. It channels it upward, turning heat into light. So how is this done? It begins with awareness of sensation. When your sexual energy begins to rise, whether from attraction, imagination, or inner impulse, you must notice it before it becomes unconscious. Feel where it lives in your body, often the lower belly, the root, the sacral center. Most people stop here, releasing the energy outward. But the alchemist does something different. They breathe into it. They feel it fully. They let it build without collapsing into it. This is the sacred pause, the moment of power. Next comes redirection through breath. Instead of allowing the energy to move downward or dissipate, you inhale deeply and imagine the energy rising up the spine, into the heart, into the throat, into the crown. You visualize it illuminating each energy center, activating your presence. Each breath becomes a tool of guidance, a way to tell the body, we're using this energy for expansion, not escape. Then comes intention. Energy follows focus. So once it's been raised, it needs somewhere to go. This is where your desires, your goals, your vision come in. What are you calling in? What do you want to embody? Instead of projecting desire outward, I want that person, that thing, that experience. You embody the frequency of it now. You become the resonance that calls it to you. This is where attraction is born, not from strategy, but from state. When your sexual energy is transmuted, you no longer chase. You emanate. You hold a charge in your field that others feel, whether they understand it or not. You become magnetic, not because of what you do, but because of who you are being. You radiate coherence, wholeness, power. And most importantly, you no longer seek outside yourself for fulfillment. You know the current of creation is already alive within you. And from this place, everything you desire begins to move toward you, naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. This isn't about suppressing pleasure. Pleasure is sacred. But transmutation teaches you that pleasure can be recycled, refined, and expanded. That your body isn't just a source of release. It's a channel for realization. So when desire arises, ask, can I hold this? Can I lift this? Can I shape this into something higher? Because when you learn to transmute, you stop leaking power and start radiating it. Transmutation is not about denying the fire within you. It's about learning how to hold it, shape it, and direct it. And for that, 3 keys become your allies: intention, breath, and sacred focus. These aren't abstract spiritual concepts. They are practical tools that allow you to take raw sexual energy and turn it into conscious manifestation, magnetic presence, and energetic sovereignty. Let's start with intention. Intention is the anchor of all energy work. Without it, even the most powerful energy becomes scattered. Your sexual energy, left undirected, will follow whatever emotion or thought pattern is most dominant in your field. That's why, when you feel triggered, lonely, bored, or disconnected, your energy tends to spiral outward or downward. It's looking for release, not because it's wrong, but because it has no container. But when you infuse that energy with clear, conscious intention, I am channeling this into healing. I am holding this to deepen my magnetic field. I am breathing this into my creative purpose. Everything changes. The energy responds. It no longer runs wild. It listens. It organizes around your focus. And how do you move that energy once intention is set? Through breath. Breath is the vehicle of transmutation. It is what lifts the energy upward, from the lower chakras into the higher centers of awareness. In ancient practices like Tantra and Kundalini Yoga, the breath is not just a relaxation tool. It's a conductor, a transformer, a purifier. When sexual energy begins to rise, most people either repress it or release it. The alchemist breathes. Deep, slow, intentional inhales, bringing awareness to the base of the spine, and on the exhale, guiding that energy upward through the heart, the throat, the third eye. With each breath, the fire becomes light. The desire becomes presence. The charge becomes stillness. This is not control. It's devotion. It's a sacred honoring of the energy as something divine. And finally, you must engage sacred focus. In a distracted world, sacred focus is rebellion. It is the commitment to remain present with your energy, to stop outsourcing your desire to others, to stop spilling your attention on what doesn't feed your soul. Sacred focus means saying no to quick gratification in favor of deep embodiment. It means holding your energy like you would hold a sacred flame, not letting it flicker out, not letting it burn you, but tending to it with care and purpose. Your focus determines your frequency. When you focus your mind, breath, and body toward your highest intention, you step into coherence. You become aligned, and that alignment becomes visible, tangible, magnetic. This is how sexual energy becomes spiritual currency, not through denial, but through direction. So ask yourself, what am I creating with this energy? Where is my breath guiding it? Where is my focus pulling it? Because when intention is clear, breath is conscious, and focus is sacred. Your energy doesn't just stay with you, it transforms you. And that transformation is what the world responds to. You've learned how to reclaim your sexual energy, how to transmute it, and how to align it with intention. But there's a deeper layer of alchemy waiting to be unlocked, a state not of doing, but of being. This is where sexual energy no longer needs to be managed moment by moment, because it has become your natural frequency. This is the power of inner union, and it's what gives rise to magnetic presence. Magnetism isn't about how you look. It's not about seduction or technique. True magnetism arises from coherence, when your inner masculine and feminine energies are no longer at war. The masculine energy in you is focused, present, grounded. It's the energy that holds structure, discipline, and direction. The feminine is fluid, alive, creative. It's the current of intuition, emotion, and embodiment. When these two forces are split, when you're all doing with no feeling, or all feeling with no direction, your energy becomes unstable. You feel blocked, disoriented, insecure. But when they come into union, something miraculous happens. You become whole. In this state, your sexual energy no longer surges chaotically. It flows with grace. It informs your posture, your voice, your timing. You speak less, but say more. You move slower, but with purpose. You begin to radiate rather than reach. Have you ever been around someone who feels effortlessly magnetic? Who doesn't try to impress or convince, but draws you in with a quiet intensity? That's inner union. That's someone whose energy is not fragmented, but fused. Someone whose inner fire has been raised, not burned out. You don't need to perform. You don't need to chase. You only need to inhabit yourself fully. And this is where the breath work, the transmutation, the sacred focus all begin to crystallize. Because now your energy isn't being used to fix something. It's being used to amplify who you already are. This amplification is what the world feels. It's what attracts aligned people, synchronicities, opportunities. When your inner masculine honors your feminine, when it provides presence and containment, your feminine relaxes. She trusts, she expresses, she creates. And when your feminine inspires your masculine, with vision, with emotion, with wildness, he acts with clarity, not control. He moves not from fear, but from knowing. This is inner harmony. This is sexual alchemy in its most embodied form. So if you've wondered how to become magnetic without manipulation, this is the answer. Do your inner work until your energy speaks louder than your words. You are not here to seek attention. You are here to hold resonance. And when you walk through the world as someone who's met themselves, in light and shadow, in fire and stillness, the world cannot look away. You don't have to attract from lack. You attract from wholeness, from union, from presence. And in that presence, everything you once chased begins to chase you. You were never meant to live chasing, grasping, or settling. Deep inside you, beneath the noise, beyond the shame, underneath every layer of fear or doubt, lives a power that was always yours. The ability to alchemize desire into reality. That power isn't outside you. It's in your breath, your body, your attention. It's in your sexual energy, your life force, the sacred current that creates worlds. We've journeyed through its nature, its misuse, its transmutation. But now, the most important truth remains. You are the alchemist. No one else can do this for you. No guru, no partner, no technique. You are the vessel, the spark, the sacred fire, and the hand that shapes it. Sexual energy is not something to be feared or idolized. It is not dirty, dangerous, or indulgent. It is sacred. It is intelligent. It is yours. And the more you walk through life with reverence for it, not just in moments of intimacy, but in everyday moments of creation, speech, movement, presence, the more life mirrors that sacredness back to you. You'll begin to notice the shift. Your manifestations will feel more fluid, your relationships more magnetic, your clarity more stable. Why? Because you are no longer fragmented. You are no longer leaking. You are no longer trying to manifest from a place of emptiness. Instead, you are full of energy, full of intention, full of grounded awareness. This is what the ancient mystics knew, that creation is not just about action, it's about alignment. That when your inner world vibrates with coherence, your outer world must respond. That desire is not a weakness, it's the compass of your soul calling you toward embodiment. So as you leave this space, ask yourself, what would it feel like to live as someone who truly honors their life force? What would change if I stopped treating my energy as a problem and started using it as my power? You don't need more information. You need embodiment. You need devotion to your own fire. Because when you stop chasing pleasure and start channeling presence, everything shifts. You become a beacon, a magnet, a creator. And not because you've mastered a technique, but because you've remembered a truth. You are the alchemist, the desire, the flame, the gold. Breathe that in, hold it, live it.